Hey YouTube, this is DJ from DJ Classic Games, and I thought I'd come back today with a video about this Nintendo Switch Oled model. Now, I know I'm a little late getting this Nintendo Switch. It's been out about a year now, but see, I'm just upgrading from the 2017 model. The reason why I upgraded because I feel like the screen on the OLED model is a big upgrade from the first Nintendo Switch. Now, as you can see, I've already torn into this box, but there's a few things that I have not yet opened. I just got this Switch yesterday. Like I said, I'm late to the game. I'm a year in. Don't give me no static about that. But what I will say is they have basically the same accessories. As you can see, this controller looks the same. Joy-Con slide down on the side. Same thing from the old Switch. So a lot of these accessories, I will say, will fit the new Switch. Now, here's my opinion about this upgrading, because I see a lot of contradiction online about people saying this is a huge upgrade and all of that. I will say that the screen is a whole lot better. But at the same token, if you already have the Switch from just a couple of years ago, I do not recommend upgrading to this one. I just don't, because the only thing you're gaining is a few centimeters in screen size. From 6.2 inches to a 7-inch screen, I think this OLED model has. Now, one thing I will give to the OLED screen, it is, to me, the colors look a lot richer. I'll say that. I'm not going to say it's brighter. I don't think it's brighter. I think it's about the same brightness-wise and nits-wise. I believe it is. I hadn't had a chance to inspect the specs on this yet, so don't quote me on that. But I will say this OLED screen has deeper-looking blacks, which in turn makes the colors pop to me. It look more rich on here than the first edition of the Nintendo Switch. I will say that. But if you have the second version of the Nintendo Switch, the red box version, do not upgrade to this. It's not a significant enough upgrade to justify spending another $400 just to get this. Gameplay is going to be the same. It's not any more powerful. From my understanding so far, what I researched on, the battery life is between 4 to 9 hours, something like that, depending on what game you're playing. So it's not a big enough upgrade for me to suggest you to upgrade from the second model of the Nintendo Switch. So if you already have that model from, what was it, 2019, that one came out, the red box Switch, just keep it. This is not worth that upgrade. But if you're coming from the first version, the same games are going to play on this one that you played on the first one. I'm not going to lie and say it's any faster, because I haven't witnessed that yet. But the screen is a lot better than the first one. I will say that. And I think the battery life may be a little bit better also, and it doesn't get as hot on the back as my first one did. So, like I said, if you have any accessories also that you brought over from the first Nintendo Switch, you might want to consider upgrading some of them, because I noticed some of my old cases right across the top of this screen, the power button and the volume button do not line up. I repeat, they do not line up in the new cases correctly. So if that's the case, you may possibly be covering these vents. So if I were you, only if I were you, I'd upgrade my accessories, because you want everything to line up perfectly, where you can have your game slot, headphone jack, your air vent, volume up and down, power button to line up. Nothing is different about the Joy-Cons. Everything's the same about the Joy-Con. So as you can see, I have a little Joy-Con case on there until mine get here. I sent off for one yesterday from Amazon, so it's not here yet. But I had these left over from the old Switch, the Joy-Cons. I have a little case on those. So as you can see, I left this blank, the actual game console part, because it didn't fit. It's a little bit wider, just a little. The 7-inch display on this new OLED model Switch, it just will not allow you to use your old accessories unless you're using a silicone case. Maybe that will fit. But who wants a silicone case on a Nintendo Switch? I mean, thing collects lint. It just doesn't feel as solid with a silicone case. But back to this Switch, upgrading wise, I do not think it's worth upgrading if you have the one from a couple of years ago, that second version that came out. The game's going to look the same. They play the same. Now, I will say, like I said, the screen may be just a little different from the second version of the Switch to this. Just a little. I know for a fact the blacks are a lot deeper, which automatically makes the color pops. They look more rich on this screen, and depending on what game you playing, you really can get more immersed. I feel like if the screen is brilliant, this is a brilliant display. What I call a brilliant display. This is crazy right here. It's a lot different from the first one. Side by side. And I will be doing a video on that side by side with the old Switch, with the OLED Switch. I will be doing those too. The first Switch versus this OLED Switch. I will do that video soon, so we'll get a chance to look at the actual brightness of the display and the richness of the colors and so on and so on. But let me get back to this unboxing. It's basically the same old HDMI cord. Same old thing that you had with the other Switch. Let's move on. As you can see, as I said, I tore into this box already. Have a Joy-Con rails. 2 of them. One for the left Joy-Con, one for the right. String attached. Power adapter. Nintendo Switch original power adapter. Make sure you get that. Use that to charge it and not just anything laying around. Okay, the one thing that is different, I will say. Now this dock still operates like the original dock. But, as you can see, they had a little design change here. Now, I've noticed they definitely have different material on the front here. It's kind of a matte feel. I'll say a matte feeling texture on this cover on here. I'm sure it's just plain plastic, but they did do something a little different. They have this cover on here, which I probably will end up getting rid of. Now, their cover houses the AC adapter port. I don't know if you can see that. The AC adapter port, HDMI, and you also have a LAN port back here. So if you want to plug into your network, you can do that, get faster speeds on there. Like I said, I eventually probably would just remove this case because I think this would be a headache sooner or later, just taking on and off just to get to those ports, flipping it up and down. And over time, it's going to break anyway, probably. Because I just probably remove it. It's up to you. But in the inside, I noticed they have something just a slight bit different than the old Nintendo Switch dock. And that's the glossiness of the plastic inside of this. And if you notice, the old dock didn't have this glossy plastic inside. I have no problem with it, but a Nintendo Switch enthusiast probably would. Because the reason why I say that, the scratches that are going to accumulate inside of here. You will have a bunch of scratches in here. And another thing I suggest when you're using this dock, get yourself a screen protector. Because this time, Nintendo, I definitely have had this long enough to be able to tell the difference between the old Switch and this, because I believe the old display was made out of plastic, whereas this one feels like glass. This is definitely glass. So what that means is you definitely want a screen protector because you will scratch this. So invest in a screen protector. They're not that much on Amazon. You get a 4-pack for probably $10. Just go ahead and get your screen protector. Do not try to force an old Nintendo Switch, screen protector to fit on this new OLED model. They will not fit. Just go ahead and get you a new screen protector for the OLED Switch. That's what I'm trying to say. But other than that, I will be doing a video, like I said, a comparison between the old model of the Switch compared to this one. Another change you have on the back, you have this stand, which definitely I would say feels a lot more sturdy than the old micro SD card slot. Actually, I can't say for sure. It feels like it's some kind of aluminum. Maybe it's anodized aluminum. I don't know. It definitely feels sturdy. It's more sturdy than the regular cheap plastic stand. And it's way better than that skinny stand that's on the other Switch. But like I said, you have a much better, let's move that out the way, much better angle. You can game on, push it down. Got a little slant to it. You see the degree it goes down in the back here. It's pretty sturdy. I could see this lasting a long time, that's for sure. But one thing I will say, I definitely can feel the sturdiness of this console as a whole in my hand, because the older Switch model, when I first got it, I noticed the Joy-Cons felt a little shaky. They didn't have this solid feeling like this one has. This one definitely feels more solid when it comes to the Joy-Cons being attached to the console. Not shaking as much. I feel more assured when sliding them on and off and things of that nature. I don't feel like I might tear them up or anything like that. They feel pretty sturdy. So if you're going to get this Switch, like I said, invest in new accessories such as case and screen protector. Do not try to use the old case because the buttons won't line up perfectly. They may fit on here, but it's just a little bit wider than the older one. So get you a new case. It doesn't cost that much. Go ahead and just get a new case. Like I said, let's take a quick look at just an intro of one of the games so you can get an idea how the screen looks on this thing. It's crazy. Let's get this started up here. Get the volume up. Rich colors. I definitely like those colors. Very rich. And I like how black it is around the borders. This screen is not gray like the older ones. It's a black screen, so you could definitely tell before you even cut it on that it's just crazy. Look at that. Rich colors. I love it. Just a sample. Okay, that'll do it for today. Like I said, that's just a short review of this new Nintendo Switch Oled. Well, it's not so new now. I'm picking it up a year later, but it's new to me. So if you're going to get this, go ahead and get, I recommend an upgrade from the first one, not the second one. From the first Switch to this, go ahead and upgrade. If you feel that the display is not adequate enough on the first one, upgrade to this OLED model. Go ahead. I think the price is low as now is $369, I believe it was. I think that's what I paid for this. About $369 with tax and everything. I think I got it on bestbuy.com. That's where I ordered it. I picked it up in the store. So it's not $450 or $500 like the price it was when it first came out. All of the same games work. So everything is the same. Even though they do have new titles that have been updated for this OLED display, I will mention that. So if you're going to pick this up again, please get a screen protector because you will show scratches in this glass display. Again, my name is Derek from DJ Classic Games, checking out with another video. Peace. I'm out.